All right, all right. Okay, so you're good there? Yeah, I'm good here. My name is German Ayala Vazquez. I am a fashion fine art photographer. I was born in Puerto Rico, raised in New York, and I'm currently living in Philadelphia. Welcome to my studio. Shh. When I moved to Philadelphia, I knew that as soon as I got there, like, it was for me. Like, the vibe was there. It was very calm. It wasn't like New York. There was a big art scene, but it was really like underground, especially the LGBTQ community. Like, I was able to come in Philadelphia and meet them, and it was great because I was able to create projects that were for my community, that involved my community, and it definitely helped shape my photography going forward, my fine art photography, my fashion photography, because I started to look for spaces that didn't represent us. So I wanted to change that. I wanted to be like, you know, why is there not enough of me doing what I want to do? So I opened up the avenue and I created it, and I started to work with the LGBT community of color as well. Created amazing work with them, artists, underground artists, singers, dancers, you name it. I've worked with them. So creating that space for people that were not really visible is basically why I started doing photography. So we are going to go to Bayamón, which is a city. That's where my grandmother lives. And my grandmother's house is a very special place for me because growing up, that's where we went every day, and we played bingo. On the weekends, we would all gather there for holidays. It's a great place. I mean, I grew up there. That's where we did everything. That's where I pretty much grew up in until I was 6. Like when I come here, like I know that I have to go there to see her because I don't, God forbid. Bendición, estoy me está haciendo un documental. Ay, bendición. ¿Cómo está? Aquí está muy bien. Ay, bendición, papá, ¿cómo está? ¿Todo bien? So basically, they built this house themselves too. Like them two built this house. Yeah, everything, like everything. This is the outdoor kitchen when we have, like I told you, when we had the traditions. So people coming here and like for the holidays and stuff like that, my grandfather will make all the meats out here, and then my grandmother will make the rice inside. So basically, like he has like a little charcoal stove that he made here, and then he cooks all the everything that has to do with like fried food, fried chicken, fried pork. Well, it affected my work for a little bit just because I was, you know, the grieving process is still there. It's kind of like years until that kind of like settles in and figures itself out. But I think my mother's passing kind of pushed me to kind of continue to do what I do. I'm doing this right. I'm doing this for her because I always wanted to just be successful so I can take care of her so she can just have the best life. I push myself even more now because like now I'm gonna like prove to her whether she's here or not that I did it, and then I didn't give up. You know, my coming out story was honestly significantly easier than I feel like most people because my mom was very accepting, considering my sister already had came out years ago. So I think she already kind of experienced that first outing of one of their kids. So I think it was definitely easier to handle mine because I texted her. I didn't tell her face to face. Either way, I don't think it would have went wrong. It would have been nothing negative. She would have just been, you know, behind the scenes. I don't know if she, you know, if she suffered or she cried. I wouldn't know. But to me, when she to my face, it was more of like, I love you. You're my son. Just make sure you're safe. Take care of yourself and make sure that, you know, that nobody fucks with you. And then that's it. You know, it's really hard, like as open as it is for the queer community and for people of color, and part of the LGBT community. It's still like they still judge. There's still a really high crime rate here for trans people. Like they're killing them like there's like they just like they're mad at them in other sense. Go ahead. I can close it right behind you. Yeah, I'm just actually just looking for locations because, I like to kind of look at places that really haven't been shot before. I'm based in Philadelphia and Puerto Rico because I live in Philadelphia majority of the time, and then in Puerto Rico I just acquired a home, so now I kind of work there part time, and I make work here. So I kind of juggle between creating work within Puerto Rico and Philadelphia, since I have a really close community here. A lot of people that come here are trying to just capture people, the trauma or whatever it is that they do, and then they capitalize off of it, and then they move on and they're good, but then they forget about the people that were here, that they were working with. I think it was her story that I saw on Instagram that I was kind of started following from like her earlier post to where she was at that point. As soon as I saw her, I knew that she had the look. I knew it, and I knew that I wanted to use her. But they never expect for me to give them any kind of money. And mind you, it's not like I'm giving them hundreds of dollars. I just wanted to make sure that she knew that whenever she went to another set and it was like this, that she demanded compensation, because there's no way that if you have the talent that you should just be doing anything for free. Do you know what I mean? Like, especially where if there's big commercialized jobs with big companies that definitely have the budget and the funding to be able to pay these models, and some of them don't pay them or they underpay them. I wanted her to train her in a way where like she knew that she had the talent and to believe in herself enough to know that she is worth getting paid for it.
Yeah, after you shot me, I start getting more jobs.
Yeah.
So that was beautiful because, like, this bitch opened doors to me that I didn't know.
Because they don't even get paid. It's kind of like...
¿Te han pagado para Trans Fashion?
Sí,
¿Cuánto?
$75.
$75.
Right.
And
For
she's
hours of
modeling,
rehearsal.
she's the face.
Yeah,
Ya
just
están todas las
promotion.
portadas, promotions.
Right.
It's a lot.
Yeah.
And they don't pay like...
Es caro, ¿verdad?
Y es fuerte because a veces se trata de eso, que these people just worry about pay themselves.
Yeah, because they're worried
and
about...
they don't worry about like the people who's modeling, the people who is trans actually, and they don't have a job and they don't have opportunities.
Oh,
like,
with the commercial?
Yeah, they just pay me. They was about to pay me $100.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked with someone because I said, it's a fucking soap. Like, these people got money and they say dope everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I talked with this friend and she felt like, oh, you should tell them at least 500.
That's still low. And I told her, because she texted me, she was like, it's 100. I was like, that's not good, but I know that where you are right now, they're not gonna give you any more because they're trying to do this quota thing, like this, agenda.
And it was awful because I bring all the clothes, everything.
Mm-hmm.
I bring all my... I got braids done. $300 on my braids.
Mm-hmm.
And it was bullshit. Dude, I feel like the way that I feel here and I feel like visible is because it was like la genuinidad. How do you say?
Genuineness. Genuine.
Genuine. And real.
I think, like I mentioned before, it's just like the idea of like representation and visibility. It's always that. It always comes to that at the end of the day because I see the lack of. Like it's evident. I see it all the time. I see it in models. I see it in the industry. And I think that it was important for me to find the talent or the potential because there's so much potential here. But unfortunately, it's really hard to follow that dream here when you have so many other things to take care of. So I think when I saw her, I already knew. And I told her, I was like, the potential is there. Like, I already know that we could do this. And like she said, I made it feel like a model because I feel like that's important. It's like, it doesn't matter how much the budget is. Like, you can treat anybody with just at least some decency and some kind of treatment to make them feel good. And I feel like even if it's just the bare minimum, like, it's still something. And I think that was very important to me. Oh yeah, so basically, yeah, the rain definitely didn't help us this morning. So we're going to shift our focus from our photo shoot into a more street style conceptual photo shoot. So we're just gonna we're gonna focus on giving natural goddess vibes. That's exactly what I need. You see all that light? All that light from the sun. That's all. That's the sun, baby.
The ground is filthy, but I'm gonna take my shoes off to sacrifice for the photo.
That looks good right there. Oh yeah, this is really nice lighting. Yup. Yeah, just a little bit, yeah. Now give me something with like the hat hidden in your face, yeah. Like the colors hitting, like, okay.
Wow.
And I'm gonna Photoshop him
Bye.
out, so he's not even gonna be in.
Like, bye. Look
right
how
back.
good.
Yeah, like the fabric hitting it, like.
I feel like this is an ad for a hat.
Yeah.
Like this feels like it's an
Yeah.
accessories
Yeah.
ad, right?
Yeah. My mom was the one. My mom took all four of us and brought us to the States. We were very young, obviously, and then like she raised us there by herself. No one thought it was a great place to go, but unfortunately during that time, you know, she was, you know, with my dad, and my dad was really abusive. So it wasn't like it was an easy choice because it was running away, and that seemed like it was gonna be a better option than there because we would have never known what could have happened. Yeah, we were all alone. We didn't know anybody. I think we had like my mom like met people because she was like in the welfare line when she went the first time and like got the assistance. Like she met people on the line and then like kind of communicated with them, and then like it sparked a friendship. Where then when we moved there, then she had someone that now became like a friend. Like I said, it was all based on the idea of running away, you know. So it wasn't like there was anything beautiful about it. We kind of made it beautiful, you know. We kind of learned to live, and you know.
How did you make it beautiful?
Give me 1 second, okay? Oh no, I wasn't thinking about anything. I was crying, but I didn't want to cry on camera because I didn't want it to be like that thing to be like, you know. Yeah, it was because you asked me a question that was really interesting, and I never really no one really asked me a question like that. So I was like, And I would say that maybe like I think like the way she protected us was what made it feel beautiful for me. Like because it wasn't really where we were at. It was just the fact that she was there and that she would protect us. And to me, like that was like what made it beautiful. Like, and it wasn't about where we lived or what we had. It was more about like she was like you know, like we were the cubs, and she was like the mama bear, and she didn't never left us until like, you know, recently. My mom's favorite movie was The Blue Lagoon. It was with the bioluminescent water, and like there's like two kids that fall in love with each other, and they grow in this island, and then like they eat these cherries that are in the island, and then like. They put you to sleep forever, so you don't ever wake up, and like the boy like eats it and like he like dies, and like, or did they both eat it? I don't know. I'll let you know later. Cause I think it might have been like a Romeo and Juliet type of ending, where they both ate it and like hold each other's hand and like fell asleep.